Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, so now next. So in terms of when you're thinking about Islam, so where do you start from? So the first thing is obviously as Muslims we believe in the one true God, that we believe in a divine being who initiated the everything that which is in existence and created the entire universe and so on. So so first stage is basically you start to think. So you start to think about all the things around you. Start to think about yourself, your environment, the skies, the trees, and basically everything. So that leads you to thinking. And then the next stage is then you start reflecting and pondering, and then that leads to conviction. And once you've where you have conviction, and this is where the shahada comes in. After that. So everything starts off by observing that which is around us. This is what Allah says in the Quran. إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. That indeed in the creations of the heavens, of the skies and the earth, and the changing of the night and day, there are signs for those people who have intellect. So intellect is very important in Islam, by the way. So Islam is not, okay, one person plus one person plus one person equals one person. So everything is in Islam makes perfect sense, and it's supposed to appeal to the intellect. So Islam is supposed to appeal to the intellect. That's why Allah praises those people that have intellect, because you need intellect to arrive at the right conclusion. That's why generally Islam does not oppose science. Islam does not say don't use your brain or don't use, so science is supposed to complement Islam. Obviously there are one or two places where science contradicts Islam, but there obviously we say that Allah knows better about his creation than a few observations of men. Like, I don't want to go into that now. But anyway, so you look at the world around us, look at the trees, how from a small seed you get so many different types of trees, and then so many different types of fruits with different tastes, with different colors. Look at the sky above us, look at the, even how the clouds are formed and the water cycle. Look at and then another verse Allah says وَفِي الْأَرْضِ آيَاتٌ لِلْمُوقِنِينَ وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ. Allah says look around the earth, and these are signs for a person that has conviction. And here, interesting thing here is Allah saying there's signs for the people that have conviction, not those people that are skeptical. Because generally what happens, there's one level of skepticism which is good, but then you have that level of skepticism where you just deny everything just for the sake of denying it. You don't want the truth. So those people, they can't be guided because they don't want the truth. They're skeptical just for the sake of being skeptical. So Allah says, وَفِي الْأَرْضِ آيَاتٌ لِلْمُوقِنِينَ. And if you look around you in the earth, these are signs for those who have conviction. Then Allah says, وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ. And look even into your own selves. أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. Can you not see? So even with how the biology of a human being, our brain, how our brain works, how our heart works, and our organs, and so on. So the more we learn about the universe, the more it should take us to our Creator, and we should have conviction in it. So science tells us how God created the universe, but it doesn't tell us why. So so the more we know about science and the world around us, the more it should take us to understanding the one true God. So now, this is the first thing. So we observe those things which are around us, which should take us to understanding that there must be a creator. Because how can everything so complex come into existence by itself? So that's the question that we need to ask. Did we just come into this world arbitrarily without any plan, design, and so on? If the world was slightly different, that we would never have existed. The scientists, they say that if the earth or if the universe were expanding, just a fraction quicker, then this universe would not exist. If it was expanding just a fraction quicker, it wouldn't, this whole universe would not exist. If the gravity was slightly, with the smallest amount different, this world would not exist. This world has been made perfect for habitation. So did we come into this universe? Did this universe exist by itself? And this is the question Allah poses in the Quran. أَمْ خُلِقُوا مِنْ غَيْرِ شَيْءٍ أَمْ هُمُ الْخَالِقُونَ. So did they come from nothing? Did this universe, humans and everything that which is in it, come from nothing? And logically we can understand that 0 plus 0 cannot equal 1. So we could not have come from nothing. أَمْ هُمُ الْخَالِقُونَ. Or did we create ourselves? Allah poses a question to us. Did this universe create itself? Now, how can something create itself? That would mean it would have to exist and not exist at the same time, which is absurd. So how can, for the universe to create itself, then it must have existed before it to exist, it doesn't make any sense. Or was it created by another created being? And that wouldn't make sense either, because then the question would be, okay, what created that being? What created that being? What created that being? Now going for infinity, which is infinite regress. And if that went on for infinity, then we wouldn't have actually ever come into existence. So the only possibility is that there must have been a divine eternal being that was always there, that brought this universe into existence. And this just logically just makes the most perfect sense. And this is the verse of the chapter of the Quran, Surah Al-Ikhlas, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Say He is Allah, the One. Allahu Samad, the Allah who is eternal. So Allah must have always been, there must have been a being that always existed, and He chose to bring the universe into existence. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He does not give birth, because this will be a deficiency. If He gives birth to someone which is the same as Him, then He is deficient, because He has partners now. He's equal. So God does not give birth. Wa lam yulad. Neither was He born. Neither did someone give birth to Him. Because if someone gave birth to God, then He would have been deficient. Because He would be in need of a parent. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ, and none is equal to God. So this is the understanding of Islam when it comes to God. So the first point is that we think, we reflect, and that should lead to conviction. And once that leads to conviction of the one true God, then our next step is to look at the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why do we believe he's a true messenger? What makes him a true messenger? And so on and so on. Jazakumullah khairan.